In recent days, state leaders in Iowa and Nebraska delivered their vision for the 2020 legislative session to lawmakers in their State of the State address. I recently traveled to Nebraska's capital city and talked one-on-one with Governor Pete Ricketts about his priorities as well as those of the people of the Cornhusker State. Tonight, our conversation in the first of two special reports.
And because of increased revenues, we have the opportunity to do even more. And so what I propose to the legislature is $500 million over the course of the next 3 years.
Are you confident it'll be long-term relief, or is this a stopgap? Will be good for a couple of years and then it'll change? Is that?
Well, part of what we want to do, and we've seen in the past when the state, for example, has put a lot of money into K-12 education, that didn't end up in long-term tax relief because the schools spent the money. So what we have to do is make sure that we're delivering this in a way that it actually goes to property tax relief and not to just more spending.
While property tax relief tops the governor's wish list, recovery from last year's record flooding and a plan to prepare for future high water are a close second.
I don't anticipate anything like we had last year, but we're still going to be monitoring this. And of course, we're going to have to continue to think about what do we need to do to change, for example, how the Missouri River is being managed.
Should the Army Corps of Engineers be doing more than just managing the flow?
Well, it's absolutely one of the things that the governors and I believe is that we have to engage with the Army Corps of Engineers, and what we have to do is do our homework to know what we need to ask for. So once we have that plan, we're going to go work with the Army Corps to say, hey, these are the things we think you need to be doing to make sure you're doing a better job of protecting people and property.
In April of last year, Ho-Chunk Inc. and the Nebraska Horsemen's Benevolent Protection Association announced that they would, for the second time, seek an amendment to the Nebraska Constitution, allowing voters to decide whether or not to expand gambling at state-licensed horse racetracks. It's something Governor Ricketts says he continues to oppose.
For every dollar you collect in tax revenues, you spend $3 in social services on things like increased child abuse, increased spousal abuse, embezzlement, those sort of things.
Aren't you already having to pay that $3 because of people going? Every state around you has gambling. I've got to assume that there are problems in the state anyway.
Well, certainly one of the things we see, for example, if you look along the border with Iowa, we do see some of that overspill of the problems into our state. But it tends to be more localized where you have casinos. So since we don't have casinos all across our state, we don't see those problems all across our state.
Okay. Will you have a role in opposition to the state if it does come back to a vote? That's a hypothetical. I get that. Will you play a role, or will you just let the citizens decide?
Well, my position is not going to change. I'm going to continue to urge people in Nebraska not to expand gambling in our state.
Would you actively be involved in the opposition, I guess is what I should have said?
Well, I've always been a member of the Board of Gambling with the Good Life, which is our group here in Nebraska that opposes expanded gambling, and I'll continue to be a part of that group.
This October, Nebraska will launch an expanded Medicaid program. It's something that the Ricketts administration opposed, but voters approved in 2018. Now, nearly 2 years later, the governor says he expects a smooth rollout of the program.
All available on our website to see the project plans with regard to what we all have to do. It's a big, complicated project. We have to get a waiver from the federal government to implement it. But so far, we're on schedule to be able to start taking applications August 1st and roll it out October 1st.
Has President Trump been good for Nebraska in your eyes?
I think President Trump has not only been good for Nebraska, but has been good for the entire country. I mean, if you look at his record and what he's done to, cut regulation, cut taxes, get fair trade agreements, protect our border, all the things that he promised. And what we see as a result of all those things is an expansion of the economy and job opportunities. Nebraska last year employed 1 million people, 1 million unique individuals for the first time in our state's history.
Does substance over style ever bother you at all?
Well, certainly I would say the president says things some ways that I wouldn't necessarily say it that way. But if you look at the results have been tremendous.
Do you have any concerns at all about the ethanol industry and those refinery waivers, and if you want to go a step further, even the RFS?
The president has said very clearly he wants 15 billion gallons. That's what we as governors have all said. We want 15 billion gallons. And now we've got to hold the EPA accountable for actually hitting that goal. But at the end of the day, we're still going to be watching and holding them accountable to make sure they do what they say they're going to do.
How do you do that? How do you hold them accountable?
Well, again, if they're not blending what they said they're going to blend, then we are going to be going knocking on the door of the White House and saying, hey, Mr. President, your EPA is not doing what you said you told them to do. You got to make a change.
I appreciate your time.
Great. Thank you, Tim. Thanks.
You bet.
Thanks.
Now, Governor Ricketts has roughly 3 years remaining on his second term as governor and will not seek re-election because of Nebraska term limits. Coming up Thursday night at 10, my one-on-one conversation with Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds.